And feel free to jump in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts about the message today. If you had any questions about this evening, this morning, what you've been up to today, anything you want to tell us.
We want to interact with you.
Yes.
So please start typing. We want to talk with you. We want to see how you like the message tonight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what kind of really spoke to you. Like, I could open up with a quick question. How do you find evangelism? Let's just be real. How do you like evangelism? Because even that word evangelism is like that sends chills down people when you say that word evangelism. They just be thinking of, like I said earlier, street preachers and stuff. So put down in the comments, how do you find evangelism? How do you find doing it? Is it natural to you? Do you struggle with it? Would you like to kind of improve on that? And yeah, just comment and let us know from that and any other comments you know, that you might have. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you from that. And if there's even anything from this morning as well that maybe you just want to like type in as well, please share. We wanna see what you're saying. So yeah. See.
Yeah, definitely. I think with evangelizing it's such like the perception of it is street preachers and things like that, that it's very forward and quite, you know, in your face about evangelizing. Whereas, I mean, you know, when I've done the spiritual gifts test for Transform Life and stuff, evangelism was up there, and I was like, nope. I was like, take that back. I was like, no, because it is the kind of the scary bit of it. It's quite intimidating that no, I'm not someone that would sit and do that. But I think when I look at my role, and when, you know, speaking with YNL and things, that actually my role in kids ministry is exactly that. It's evangelizing, just to a very different audience than other people might. So it's, you know, we evangelize to children, we evangelize to our family just by having a conversation with someone about Christianity. We're evangelizing to them. And I think, you know, Joe and Becca, I know they bake cakes and things like that. But I think, you know, even if you do that with a note of a Bible scripture in a card or whatever you do, that's just as much evangelizing as it is doing the street preaching. And I think that, you know, it's the perception of it has evolved so much from what it used to be that it's just that our perception of that needs to change. People have jumped in the comments now.
Come on then, let's go.
Let's have a look. We've got Louise Menzies joining. She said, hello, lovely people. Gail.
Hello, Gail.
Said she thought we'd gone.
We're back. Sorry.
We are back.
We are back.
Sunny's on.
Of course. Good. Hey, Sunny.
He's saying good evening. Joe's on.
Shama?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
John Bailey. This morning, the words of a 70s Christian rock song came to mind. We are just visiting this planet.
I don't know that song. Would you like to elaborate on why? Oh, no. Genuinely, would you like to elaborate how come that song, you know, was related to that message at all? So yeah, if there were any like lyrics.
Yeah, definitely. Les is saying it's good to gossip the gospel. Definitely. Let's get some gossip in the gospel going. Yeah. Don't need any other kind of gossip, just the gospel. Louise Menzies saying, I would love to have the confidence to evangelize, but it fills me with fear. I'd love to learn to step out, though, through if you're offering to help. I think, you know, that, I mean, you know, we've got Gary and Dee Banks. They lead the frontline evangelism team. Not that we're suggesting that you join that straight away, but as in there are lots of people in the church that, you know, if you're wanting to grow in confidence with frontline evangelism in terms of street preaching and things like that. Dee runs our pastoral care team, so that's a different way of evangelizing to people that, you know, you're doing that through caring and loving on people rather than standing on a street. And, you know, even if, you know, the kids team, there's so many different ways that you can evangelize. It's not just a set bracket that you have to be in. It, you know, there's plenty of ideas. Feel free to message the office and we can give you some ideas over.
Yeah, Louise, that related, like, just kind of adding on to that, like, people say that I can be quite evangelistic, which I never saw myself as that, or I never think that I really was. And I think for me a big thing was kind of fear. But then I learned through these like last 2 years since I've kind of around 2 years since I've been here, you know, as we kind of said earlier, as Naomi was kind of saying earlier as well, it's about stepping out of our comfort zone. And so I kind of found like don't get me wrong, you don't have to feel like you're in a shop and you gotta go up to each and every single individual person and be like, do you know Jesus? Do you know Jesus? Do you know Jesus? Type of thing. But in terms of not, I would say not skipping over the whole kind of Christian kind of church Jesus talk. Like it's very easy when someone's like, "Oh, what are you doing on Sunday?" Yeah, I was seeing some friends or something as because we do kind of get scared for like, "Oh yeah, I went to church," and I had to learn that for a very long time. I've been going to church my whole life, but
Mm.
my good friends at school didn't know I was consistently going to church until I was like 17. Where I was like, "Yeah, I was at church. I go to church like every Sunday." And they were like, "What?" It's just because I didn't like to talk about it. So I think you don't have to be intentional about necessarily going really out of your way. But I think one good first step to do is just to, just speak about your faith as if like it was just very second nature
Mm.
to you. So that's where I would encourage you on that aspect, and then you can kind of break the
Mm.
rules down a little bit more.
I did it. Dee and Gary actually, when I got baptized, got me the colouring psalms,
Yeah.
and it's the little cards with psalms on them that you can colour in. That I started my kind of evangelism, I suppose, journey as such, and growing confidence was that I wasn't confident enough in my faith yet to speak to people about it as much. It's very, you can put that kind of pressure on yourself that you have to know a certain amount and things like that. I said, you know what, Dee and Gary have got me these, and what I did was coloured them in and prayed over them and left them certain places. Or you can post them through letterboxes. You can do that, so you don't have to have, I suppose, a face-to-face conversation with someone to be able to evangelize to them. You can post a psalm in colour through their door with a note on the back giving the details for City Life, stapling one of our connections cards to it, or anything like that. That exactly. There's subtle ways you can do it that to start with that I use that built my confidence up. Now that obviously it's different working for a church, you kind of it's part of your job, so it's easier to evangelize in the sense of, oh, what do you do for work? If you're in a doctor's surgery,
that's a great card,
it's it's easier to have a conversation dropped in like that when you work there because it's your job. So but I definitely there's so many things on Amazon now that you can get, and that those little tokens of things. And I think, Louise, we were in contact before about the Gospels of John and things like that, if you need more, or if anyone needs more, to be fair, of business cards, connections cards, anything like that, for the church details, then please email the office. It's office@myclc.org.uk. And me and Kwasi can arrange with you to pick them up. We can, I've dropped some off before to people that can't get out. And things like that we'll do anything to aid you in evangelizing and getting the word out about God and gossiping the gospel. It's just we can definitely bring some ideas to that. John said, when you step out of your comfort zone, God takes over. And it's definitely Paul walking on John Bailey. Okay, cool. And it's definitely walking on water. It's keep your eyes focused on Jesus. Because as soon as you realise what's around you, that's when you start to fall. And I think that, we just, you're walking through your comfort zone to get to the other side, and you just have to stay focused. Otherwise, you get distracted.
Just open your mouth and just go from there, Yeah.
Let's have a look. Sonny was talking about evangelism. He said, yes, evangelism can be somewhat challenging for me sometimes, but this is due to my own issues. And I've been able to evangelise in the past and continue to do so. I want to get better. I think
Sonny,
perception doesn't matter, but it's about being a God pleaser.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Sonny, you are an evangelist, so just keep it up. Like you got that definitely. So just keep doing what you're doing, bro. It's doing good.
Les says a tip he uses is ask God to put people across my path. He always does for me. And I think that's a thing you can do is God will put the people there that need to be spoken to and evangelized to. That it then kind of if God's put that person in your path, then it's the good, oh, God's put them there. And you can't get out of it as easy then, because that God's done it. And I think it's one of those things there.
Good.
Karen Bailey has put, when you love a new girl or boy, you want to tell others about them, just tell people why you love Jesus. So she's saying with it, I suppose when you get in a new relationship and you tell everyone what you love about them and for them to love them too.
Yeah.
So I think she's saying that we should do the same about Jesus and tell people why we love him. But like, I love how Naomi talks about God and that, her God does miracles, her God does this, and her God is my God. And, it's what do you love about God that makes you a Christian?
Yeah.
At some point in your, I remember think about when I came to Christ, that what was the reasons that made me want to give my life to Christ. And I think, that's what, we want. We want to see people saved and knowing God and have that relationship with him. And Karen is John's wife. Let me have a quick look on YouTube to see if there's anyone on YouTube.
No, we don't have anyone on YouTube.
Is there no one over there?
No.
Okay, cool.
Sweet. But yeah, evangelism can be tricky, but it's got to step out, and be willing or be willing to be used. So yeah, definitely, go ahead and try that. So yeah, and it's really great as well, the boxes of hope type of thing. I mean, guys, again, I just want to impress. It's so awesome, what you guys are all doing, what we're able to do through you to help other people as well. So yeah, it's really, really great stuff. I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's good.
Perfect. Well, the comments seem to have ended. Sonny said thank you for your encouragement to him.
Poor Sonny,
for his evangelism.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up there, and thank you guys for joining and commenting and interacting with us. It's been great to talk about evangelism and actually remind ourselves, I think, of different ways that we can evangelize as well. That I think I'm gonna order some more Psalms of colours and get putting them. I can even put them in boxes of hope. We're running for the next couple of weeks, so I'll get a colour in for that. But I mean, feel free if you've got any questions or anything like that about any of the services this week, then feel free to contact the office. You can email us, phone us, and we'll be more than happy to help in any way that we can.
Yes, absolutely. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next Sunday. Remember, we have Hour of Power on a Friday, 9 o'clock, and then our Sunday services, 10:30 and 6 p.m. See you guys later.